Hi, bestie. Welcome back to Girlhouse. You will have to excuse my voice. Celia recommended we don't record tonight because she thinks I'm so insufferable to listen to right now.
In
I
fairness,
ha-
I think you've gotten better since we first started chatting. I
I've
think you
been
just had to warm
drinking
it
a
up.
lot. No, I sound completely the same. I've just been, and by drinking a lot, I mean I've been
Yeah, I was
drinking a
gonna
lot of.
say what?
I've been drinking a lot over this period of we've been chatting for the past 30 minutes of poppy, not alcohol. Like I think I've
Okay.
soothed my. I have a post nasal drip. And a
Yes.
nasal drip. I thought it was allergies this whole time because like, I have, like, a really stuffy nose. When I blow my nose, it's completely clear, which is typical with allergies,
Mhm.
as well as my throat doesn't hurt, it's just super itchy.
Sounds like allergies.
But then I'm like, today I mean, allergies can make you feel really bad.
Which I didn't even really realize until this year when I was describing all these symptoms and they were like, "Oh, that's allergies."
Anyway, I'm not sure if I have a cold or I have allergies, but I don't feel well. But I feel I still want to record, but I apologize on behalf of my voice.
I really think it's gotten better, but we accept your apology.
Or maybe you've just gotten used to it.
Maybe. I don't know.
Well, I'd like to start this episode with something graphic and awesome.
Okay.
So, I haven't even talked to you about this yet. I've only spoken to my mom about it.
Okay.
Last night, I had a horrifying realization. So I had gotten home yesterday, by the way, I had an event in Irvine, which is pretty close to Laguna when you're already, I mean, Laguna's like a half an hour away, but when you're already all the way down there, it's pretty close.
Mhm.
So I had like the best day. I think I just need to get into this really quickly. And should I get into my Laguna day after my graphic
Yeah,
confession?
I'm like on the edge of my seat. I need to hear the
Okay.
graphic.
Yeah. Okay. I'll get into my Laguna day after. My graphic situation that happened. I get home from a beach day, an awesome beach day. And
Huh?
I pee, and as I pee, I hear my toilet running, and I'm like, "That's never a good sign.
Yes. I
Never
saw
a
your
good
Instagram
sign."
story.
Yeah, but we haven't spoken about, like, how epic this was.
Okay.
So, anyway, I pee, forget about it, it doesn't flush, and I'm like, "Okay," because sometimes it will do that, and then, like, the flusher will fix itself, do you know what I mean? And then it will flush
Yes.
again.
Uh-huh.
So, I didn't really worry about it.
Uh-huh.
Then now this is where it gets graphic. Let's just
Okay.
say I had to do a lot more later in the evening.
I've had to do this.
And, yeah, I
If it
remember your toilet used to not work, but
Yeah.
no, it's a bit different of a situation. Yours,
Okay.
like, yeah, not to, like, discredit you, but what I did today was pretty intense.
Okay, let's
So,
hear it.
anyway, I was like, "You've gotta be kidding me. Like, this is not good."
Uh-huh.
But it was like I've been going to bed at, like, 8:30, and it was, like, 9, and I was exhausted. I had to take my melatonin. I was like, "I'm gonna deal with this in the morning."
I
So
need to
I
get on that sleep schedule. Side note.
yeah, it's really like, I automatically wake up early because like, if when you go to bed at 8, like, your body
Yeah,
does
it's
wake you
ready
up
to go.
earlier.
Yeah.
Um, anyway, see, my nose is itchy too. What does that mean? I don't know. Anyway, um, I wake up this morning, I jolt awake at 5 a.m.
Me
knowing
too!
Really? Well,
Yeah.
I
Mine was for
jolted
summer I turned pretty, but what about you?
no, mine was because, I woke up and I came to the realization
Uh-huh.
that I knew there was a situation going on in my bathroom that made me sick to my stomach because it
Huh.
had been there all night, and I was like, "This is just, like, gonna be disgusting if s
Mhm.
like, I can't deal with this." And so, then I get to watching well, first I go in and I lift the top lid because I remember your toilet in West Hollywood, you lifted the lid and then you, like, flushed it from in there or whatever. So I
Uh-huh.
was like, "Maybe I can do that." Yeah, turns out I couldn't.
Mhm.
Some further investigation and a lot of video watching, I learned out that my toilet flapper was broken. It basically is this the toilet flapper, it connects so there when you open the lid of your toilet, there is, like, a long line thing,
Uh-huh.
as you know, that it connects to the flusher, and then a
Mhm.
chain hangs down from there, and then
Mhm.
there's a silicone thing that
Yeah.
covers. Now my silicone thing, that's the toilet flapper, the silicone and the chain, it was completely broken off, both hinges. It must have been on one hinge and
And then
then
it came undone.
both hinges.
Wow.
So, I realized the toilet flapper was broken, and I started watching all these videos because I was gonna text my landlord, but then I was like, "You know what? Like, I don't wanna wait for who knows how long this is," and I also felt uncomfortable, like, having she usually has her boyfriend come over, and they're both very sweet. I think they're awesome, but with the situation going on in the toilet, I'd feel uncomfortable.
It's
Um,
kind of giving when I had to Uber Eats a
yeah, never
plunger,
forget.
and remember he, like
He
I can't remember
lingered.
how ridiculous this was, but he responded something like, "Oh, are you sure you meant a plunger? Ha ha." I said, "Yes." To the when which then he says something along the lines of, "Oh, they're out of this, but will this do" like, he was taking the piss. And
And
then
well,
he
and didn't he, like,
finally
linger when he got there? Like, he was really
Yes, I
chatty.
was so terrified that he was gonna, like, stalk me, like, I was scared to go to bed because he knew where my
Yeah, I
apartment
remember
was.
that.
Something creepy about it, but also I credit our last landlord to, inspiring you to look things up because he would always just text like, "Oh, can you just Google this?"
Yeah. Yeah, he did
Just
do that.
saying.
So and he would take a he's a great guy, but he's just maybe not cut up to be a landlord.
Yeah,
Like, but I think he's the nicest guy ever. He just,
yeah,
um
takes a sweet time.
yeah, and he's a do it yourself kinda guy, but he doesn't know how to do anything.
So
Like
he'd always step 1 suggest we look it up ourselves, so maybe that's
yes.
where you got that from, but I'm proud of you, carry
Yeah.
on.
Then step 2, he'd say he was coming over, but
Mhm.
it'd usually be days later from when he
Weeks.
yeah. Then he'd finally come over, and it would be, like, pretty serious things, like, my oven didn't work for, like, a month,
Yeah.
and, then he would come over, try to fix it himself. He'd spend hours
Huff and puff.
trying to fix it, and, like, I'd always make Celia hang out with me because like, I felt awkward,
Mhm.
and then,
He'd be crawling in the attic, under the house, he'd be doing the most,
yeah.
trying so hard, that's the worst part.
Meanwhile, too, he'd always have to cut the power off for the things he was doing,
Yeah,
and he'd get
can't
there
wait.
during the day, but he'd be there for so long, I'd be sitting in the house and it'd be pitch black, and
Yep.
also this would be, like, on a Friday.
I would
S
also be there, by the way,
sometimes you wouldn't always.
usually.
Sometimes you'd be being
Never
wiped
forget
out.
when you pranked me, and you were like, "Oh, he's coming over," and I literally was like, "Are you kidding me right now?"
Yeah.
Anyway, carry on.
Also, if he's listening to this by chance, I really think he's, like, the greatest, sweetest
Oh,
guy.
he's
I
the
he
greatest.
just doesn't know how to fix stuff,
Admirable.
and I
Truly
think we
admirable, the effort.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the effort is I agree, but then after he would usually try at least 3 separate occasions to fix it, like, he'd often like, after a few hours, be like, "I'm gonna head out, I just need this part." And
Yeah,
he'd
he'd
come
always
back
say he needed one part. Always.
yeah, then he'd come back with another part, and he'd spend another few hours. And he was also, like, terrified of, like, spiders, etcetera, so he was I felt terrible, like,
Yeah, he's
he was
also around our age, by the way.
yeah, exactly, almost exactly our age. He was born,
Yeah.
I'm assuming, a year 2 years before us because of the code to our lock there. Yeah, it'd be, like, 2 more times, then he'd finally be like he'd invite someone else over to fix it. It was
Yeah.
just so, yeah, maybe that's where I got that from. I don't know what I would have done if I had a toilet situation with him, though, because he was our age.
Yeah, that would have been the worst. I would have done everything in my power to
Wait, did
fix
I
it
even
first.
tell I know I told this on TikTok, but I don't know if I ever told the story on the I must have told the story on the
You did.
podcast. Yeah.
Yeah, you
Okay.
did.
Basically, long story short, for if you're listening to this and missed that episode, the crazy thing about this landlord is that, like, years before, I
Mhm.
had matched with him on, like, Tinder or Hinge in New York, like, right before the pandemic, and I
Mhm.
remember he, like, seemed kind of pushy, like, he just, like honestly, I get now that I know
We
him.
now know it's because he's French.
Yes. At the time, I didn't know he was French.
Yeah.
If I had known that, I I s had I experienced a French the only French man I've ever experienced by experience, I mean, kissed, but he's the one who sent me the strangely posed nudes, like, very, like, leg up in the shower. I don't even know who took the photo.
He's also
Um,
a great guy, though.
he's also a great guy. Yeah, he
Yeah.
is. I have nothing but good things to say about him. It's just I don't think our sexual chemistry is compatible. But anyway, I had matched with our landlord, like, years before, but he just was, like, really, really pushy and weird and just, like, picked out a restaurant, and I, like, got the weird vibe he was gonna kill me or something, so I blocked him on everything, and, then I remember, like, we tried to, like, look him up one time on Instagram, and he wasn't coming up, so I was like, "Oh, he must not have an Instagram," until we went through my blocked list to unblock one of my exes to prank call, and lo and behold, his name was on my blocked list, and I was like, "Oh my god."
Crazy.
He must have known too.
There's no way. There's a way, but very unlikely that he
Yeah.
wouldn't have known.
Well, and yeah, because I think we might have texted too. Maybe I don't he probably doesn't have the messages still either, but what if he saved my
Yeah.
contact? I never save anyone's contact.
That would be crazy. Like, actually crazy.
Yeah. Anyway, the whole point being though, yes, I did it myself. So this morning, first I'm thinking I'm gonna have my landlord come over because I'm like, fuck, I don't really know how to change a flapper. So
Mhm.
then I'm like looking up how to manually flush a toilet. And if this ever happens to you, if your water's off and you have a bucket of water laying around, or you're in a situation like I am, where your flusher is not working because your toilet flapper is broken, if your toilet's not flushing, aside from it being clogged, I don't think this would work with it being, it definitely, I would not advise doing this if your toilet was clogged. If you look typically behind your toilet seat, like
Mhm.
not behind it, but like, yeah, like where your seat is, like, right in that little gap where, like, cat hair and stuff gets stuck, or if you lift the lid, it's always under the lid. On the tank, it will tell you exactly how many gallons of water it requires for your toilet to flush. So my toilet, for example, uses 1.6 gallons. So I, like,
Genius.
you have to rapidly fill it. I used a blender thing, and I, like, had to do it 3 times fast.
Mhm.
Um, but once you put that amount of water in, you pour it directly into the bowl, it flushes. Did you know that?
Wow. No, it automatically does?
Yeah, because that's how a flush works. It triggers a flush. When you flush your toilet, it's just flooding water into the toilet to push it down. I don't know all the
Wow.
mechanics behind it, but so if you ever run into a situation like where it's not flushing like that, you just see how many gallons it requires per flush, and once you have that amount of water, it will trigger a flush.
Wow. Wait, I'm mind blown right now.
Yeah. So, no, I was too. Didn't think it would really work. At first, I was, like, putting it in the tank, which I think probably would still work because it would flow down eventually, but I read every word of the bowl afterwards. Then as after I figure that out, I'm feeling pretty good because 'cause I'm
Yeah.
like, "That was cool. That was awesome." And, like, I felt relieved to know, like, I didn't have filth just sitting in my home
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
Um, so then I was like, "You know what?" I start watching all these videos about how to replace a toilet flapper, and I'm like, "This honestly, like, it seems pretty easy." So they were $2.99 at your local hardware store. My hardware store must have inflated prices. It's like $8.99. Still
Okay.
not a big deal. This,
Could
like,
have been an
jumbo.
outdated video.
Yeah, it could have been too. Or maybe they weren't in LA also, like,
Yeah.
um anyway, so I go to the hardware store, and I also just felt proud of myself at the hardware store because, like, I'm just a girl going in to buy the
Yeah.
flapper.
Yeah.
Um, and the guys at the hardware store love Ducky. Ducky loves the hardware store. Anyway, I buy the flapper, I come on home, and so what you do if you run into this situation, first I removed the old flapper, and then I threw that in the trash, but I, like, saved it just in case I fucked up because then I felt like my landlord would get mad at me if I took things to fix to myself and it didn't work. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
I'd
Mhm.
feel panicked about that.
Yeah.
So, um, then I you turn there's, like, a little knob below your toilet that sources to the this is where I felt amazing. You turn the water source completely off. So
Okay.
I turned the water source off to the toilet. Then I go in with the new flapper and I hook it on, No, this is where my last flapper didn't work, the hooks weren't working. I hook it on, I connect the chain, put the tank back on, turn the water back on, try to flush, heart drops, doesn't work. I'm like, "You gotta be kidding me." And so then I panic text my landlord because 'cause I'm like, "I can't deal with, like, not flushing. I can't do this bucket thing for the rest of my time here." And so I text her that the toilet's broken or it's not flushing, and which could have meant anything as well, like, it could have meant it was clogged, so I wish I would have said something more descriptive, but anyway, I text her that,
My
and
toilet's
then
broken.
and then, I, like, go to ChatGPT. This is the first time I've gone to ChatGPT for this, and I, like, say to ChatGPT, like, "Change toilet flapper, toilet still not flushing." And the first thing it said was make sure that the tank is filling all the way up with water before, because it needs to do that. There might be like something else going on in your tank. Light bulb off. I'm like, I just turned the water source back on. Of
You
course, it
have to
hasn't
wait
had
for it to
time to
fill, yeah.
fill. Of course.
Oh, wow,
So then
woman
I
in
go,
STEM.
yeah, then I go back, try the flusher again, and it works. I will say,
Amazing.
and this is going to be a project for tomorrow, because these videos came up for me, but I didn't watch them because at the time they didn't apply to me.
Mhm.
I must have not installed the flapper perfectly. I think it has a bit too much slack because when I flush, I now have to hold it for like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Instead of
Mhm.
just like, some toilets, like, you just press it. That's how it
Yes.
used to be. Now I have to hold it for like 2 or 3 seconds, so I'm gonna try to, like, tighten the chain.
Well, that was a very in-depth tutorial, but I'm very proud of you.
Yeah, well,
It's
I
really like your Instagram said.
yeah,
The episode is really a how-to.
I really do plan to title it that if you're okay with
No,
that.
I am totally okay with that, but no, that is actually, like, pretty awesome that you figured it out yourself.
No, I feel on a high. Like, it just made me feel very like, there's a feeling I get, for example, when I put windshield wiper fluid in my car.
Yeah, I know you feel that way. You always
It
post it.
Yes, because it makes me feel, I want everyone to see me doing it,
Yeah,
and it makes me feel so and when I put air in my tires,
yeah. You
like
just love being a woman in Mansfield.
I guess so.
Isn't that
Yeah, it
what
just
they
makes
say?
yeah, it just makes me feel like, I could do whatever I want.
Invincible?
Yeah,
Well, I absolutely love that for you. I was actually also on a high today.
because of your TV episode? Don't spoil it. I think you should be
I
careful
won't
with what you say.
spoil it, and I'll be careful with what I say, but it is just, like, it's such a great time to be a fan. I've
Of?
said this before, multiple things. 1, Summer I Turned Pretty. Woke up, watched the finale. Before this episode, watched it again. Skip forward to the parts that I like. It was an epic, epic finale, but even better, I was like, I watched it originally, so I didn't know this was gonna happen, but obviously if you've seen it, the ending, like, Jenny Han, the author, leaves a little, mysterious note that makes you think there's more to come, but it has been confirmed the finale will be a movie, a feature film.
Yeah,
Hopefully
that's
a
really
Christmas
epic.
special. Hopefully we don't have to wait until next summer, but that's major win. Number 2,
Yeah.
Taylor Swift, when her album drops, she's doing a live interview. She has not done this in years.
When does her album drop? October what?
October 3rd. There
Oh, that's
and,
pretty
like,
soon.
it's very soon, yeah. And I know September is truly flying by,
Don't
like,
remind me.
flying by. Um, which yeah, it's just, like, sometimes I feel, like, annoying talking about this because I know you're not as much of a fan, but I know
I'm
some
not,
people
but I'm
out
sure
there
many
are.
besties in Girlhouse are.
So I just want to acknowledge that it was a great day
Yeah,
for
that's
anyone who
epic, and
is.
I'm very
Yeah.
excited about the Taylor Swift album. Summer
Yeah.
I Turned Pretty, I'm only n I appreciate your excitement for it. I'm only not
Yes.
excited about it because I don't like romance.
Yeah. No, to each their
Like,
own.
yeah.
But also, re Taylor Swift, there was an article that was also put out it was just, like, a crazy day. There was an article that was put out that said, like, this is going to be the biggest release since Michael Jackson's Thriller, and it
Wow.
said all this crazy which, like, yeah, okay, whatever, but it said all this crazy stuff, like, this is the calm before the storm, but it was talking about the rollouts, and it was saying, like, stadiums. It's just been a crazy
I
day in
really
terms
would like
of
to go to a concert of hers.
if this happens, knock on wood, I will
Yeah.
be going to multiple. One I would
Yeah.
love. Yeah.
LA show. That would
Yeah.
get you out to LA.
That would get me out to LA. I can't
Yeah.
even imagine the ticket drama that will ensue, but there's one
Yeah.
thing
Who
that
just
I
had
will.
ticket drama? Not Katy Perry, but, like, someone random. I saw so many people were like, "Oh, I just got the ticket." It wasn't Tate McRae either, it was, like, someone just released tickets and everyone was like, "I got a ticket." I don't remember who.
I don't
It's a
know. Speaking
singer.
of, did you see, Cardi B's pregnant
I did. I
with
meant
her
to send
boyfriend
that
that's
to
a
you.
Patriots player?
Yeah, and everyone said, like, she just seems, like, so much more in her feminine. Like, she
Yeah.
seems so much softer, and
Have
it
you seen him?
really yeah, it really inspired me.
Yeah.
'Cause
He's
I've
well
never been in my feminine energy with a man.
well, that's the same thing with freaking Taylor Swift. Cardi B was dating Offset. Same field, kind
Yeah,
of competing in a sense, like, always gonna be that
yeah,
weird how I'd say about you and creatives, there's always gonna be that weird sense of competition
yeah,
versus someone who's, like, a man and they're not competing because they're successful in their field, you're successful in your field.
yeah,
She just gets
yeah,
to live her best life and get taken care of.
yeah,
Like,
that's epic.
but she's also so successful in her own field.
Yeah,
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 God, I
that's
want
awesome.
yeah,
I can't imagine how Offset's feeling.
yeah, good for him.
Is he fucked up?
Major.
Yeah,
And this guy is like yeah, I personally yeah, handsome,
yeah, he's very handsome.
successful,
I
just
really hope he
great for
is
her.
Offset's favorite player.
Yeah.
Like, I hope that's not just a line, I hope it
Yeah.
really is true. In other news on my end, I guess, I healed my relationship with Laguna kind of. So, basically, Celia and I have had, like, some weird times in I think Laguna is absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Nature and, like, aesthetically, yes.
Like,
Gorgeous.
yes.
Unparalleled, like, feels insane.
There's just a vibe there.
Mhm.
Where it's like, I will never forget the first time we went was after a really shocking evening I had had where Celia and I were both kind of speechless about my actions the evening before,
Correct.
and then I was, like, super hungover, and we went, and, like, it was kinda just, like, to heal and get away, I
Mhm.
guess. I
Mhm.
remember I got my nails done, like, a pretty blue before we went, and I was just feeling I had changed my identity the evening before temporarily, it was just a weird night. You weren't even I remember we had a pasta dinner before I went on my way, and then I came back a new woman. Anyway, um, that being
To put it
said,
lightly, yeah.
I felt super weird the next day, and so we went to Laguna, and so just I guess, like, to preface, I'm already in a weird mood. I park my car,
Mhm.
we go to, like, a burrito place or
Mhm.
nacho place, we get margaritas there. I'm, like, so hungover, feeling, like, unwell. I don't even think I really drank much of my
No, I was
margarita.
gonna say, we got a thing of margaritas to go, and then you weren't really drinking them, so I basically
Yeah.
drank it all.
Yeah. Yeah.
This
Um
always happens. You're going through a rut, we go somewhere, and I end up being a what's it called? Big back? Always. But I just that's something about me, and I'm
You
not saying
don't
this
like
in,
to
like, a
waste.
flexy way. What?
You don't like to waste.
Yeah, it's actually, like I wish I wasn't like this, but for some reason, I have this, like, scarcity mindset.
I don't think that's
I
a bad
have to,
quality
like
that you don't wanna waste, but
but I just don't think a lot of people and I'm not saying, like everything I'm saying sounds pick me. I'm not saying, like, "Ooh, I'm so different," but, like, I envy people, like, that can go out to eat and they don't think that they have to eat their whole meal. In my head, I'm like, "I have to get to it." Maybe 'cause, like, we had to do clean plate club before we could leave the table when I was growing up.
probably, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well,
it's
there's
just, like,
always
a
a to-go
thing.
box, you know?
Yeah, but I don't know.
Which I'm not into. I hate
I was just
leftovers,
gonna
they
say
freak me out.
you wouldn't even
Well, but
allow
that
to-go
doesn't
box in your car. Just
depending on
saying, so
what's
there's
in
not
it.
really always a to-go box.
It depends on what you're putting in the to-go box. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm particular about things if it's in my own car.
yeah.
Anyway, I feel like the time at the actual place was fine, but we just
Mhm.
had a lot of interactions, like, weird people weren't nice there,
It
and
almost felt like you're in a simulation, that's how bizarre people were
yeah,
being.
like, no one was nice at all. I would say it was quite the opposite. Everyone was really rude,
Weird vibe, yeah.
like, acted disgusted by us.
Mhm.
And then, like, the cherry on top was I got back and I had a parking what I thought was a parking ticket. It wasn't even a parking ticket. It was the the city issued me a ticket for my expired license plate. I'm like, "Do you even have the authority to be
That
doing
was actually
this?"
crazy.
Basically, every time Celia and I have ever gone to Laguna, we have not been welcomed. And not in a, like, you're not a local way, in, like, a everyone's disgusted by us, and
No, it's
they're
like a really, really
everyone
bizarre
has, like, a
place.
major stick up their butt, like,
I can't even
crazy.
describe it because it looks so beautiful, but, like, there are just weird, weird vibes, and if you live in Laguna.
I was just gonna say, I'm sure my one of my dad's best friends lives in Laguna and his 2 daughters,
Right.
and they're all great. I'm sure there's definitely great people in Laguna.
I was just gonna say that too because we have, like, a very strong
Yeah.
opinion, but it's just, like, our
It's our
experience there.
experiences. We
Yeah.
just have felt like people weren't welcoming. But I'm
And, like,
sure, like,
there's
there's
nothing we want more than to love it.
all I want is to be welcomed in Laguna. Like,
Yeah. But tell us
Laguna
about your most recent
itself, I
time.
love. But
Yeah.
honestly, so I went yesterday, and I had a pretty positive experience for the most part. So I had an event, I was going to the new Taco Bell grand opening in
Mhm.
Irvine, and then I looked it up, and as I was saying earlier, Laguna was only 30 minutes away. And I was like, "I'm already down here. I've already driven an hour. Let's hit Laguna." And so, I drove down, and I, like, had a whole day planned out. I took myself to lunch, which
So
honestly, I wish I would've just brought lunch to the beach because it was pretty uncomfortable. I don't know why I
I'm,
thought,
like,
like
so nice, but then I remembered,
yeah,
yeah.
I don't know why Laguna was the first place I decided to, like, try to
Okay, in
eat
fairness,
lunch
the
from.
restaurant that you went to is so sweet, overlooks it's, like, on a cliff overlooking the ocean,
Yes.
and, like, it should have been a good vibe if the people weren't weird.
Yeah, and the first waitress I had was really nice, but then it
Mhm.
switched over to a girl my age who I don't think liked me. Um And I just felt uncomfortable the whole time. Like, it got to the point where I was just trying to scarf down my food so I could get out of there. Like, it really was just awkward, and then I, like, left feeling super weird, and even when I went in, I was like, "Can I have a table for one?" I just felt yeah. It was kind of awkward. I'm proud of myself for doing it. Like, I don't think that's something I would do in LA. I just felt like I was, like, on vacation. And if I'm,
Uh-huh.
like, on vacation, I'll do that. Like, I feel like I've taken myself out to dinner on s like, yeah, when I was in Mexico by myself, I took myself out to dinner every night. So, like yeah, but anyway, whole point being, yeah, it was kind of awkward. When things got awesome, well, then it was awkward again because I went to Table Rock
Mhm.
Beach, which is a stunning beach that Celia and I tried to go to, but when we went, there were signs posted everywhere, "No swimming," and we were like, "Well, we wanna go swim," which led to basically a disaster because we ended up
Wait,
stopping for lunch and then tried to
were
park.
you not blown away with how quickly I responded when you asked me what beach it was?
I was not yeah, I sent
I
Celia I was driving, so I safely sent her a voice memo.
Uh-huh.
And then all of a sudden, you are the only person who it notifies on my screen when I get texted
Mhm.
because my phone's always on DND, but you insisted I
Yeah.
bypass that for your contact, which is now so oh my god, the amount of times I wanted to kill you at the gym when you're texting in the group message because every time I get a little text, my AirPods go, "Message from woman, message from woman, message from woman." It makes me so mad when I'm working out and I keep turning the volume up. It
Um,
keeps because you will rapid fire like 30 texts in a row, and it makes me wanna scream.
I'm sorry.
But anyway, yeah, I asked Celia what the beach was, and she responded so fast.
And by the way, okay, so this is crazy from my perspective. You asked what the beach was. In my head, I said Paradise Cove. Turns out that's in Malibu. And I just searched it in my messages, didn't come up, and then I searched it in my notes because I remember someone at Revolve had told me this recommendation for the beach.
Yeah.
And then somehow I remembered the restaurant name that it was near, so I
How
searched
did
that
you
in my notes,
remember that?
and then it came up. I don't know, it just came
I
to my
don't
head.
even remember it right now. Huh.
But I searched that in my notes and then boom, it came up.
Wow,
Table
that's
Rock Beach,
crazy.
and then I looked on the maps to triple check that I was right, and then it was. So, literally, that was, like I
You
was
did
very
that
satisfied with
really
myself.
fast.
Yeah, I was
Yeah, that's
really satisfied.
awesome. Um, but yeah, when I walked down to the beach, I was, like, planning to not swim. I was gonna honestly chill there for a bit and then maybe go swim on my way out. That's kind of
Mhm,
what I accepted because I honestly was feeling so awkward from my lunch that I just wanted to go lay down somewhere,
mhm.
decompress for a bit. It's a beautiful walk down, so I was stopping to this is why else I felt uncomfortable. I wore, like, a long denim skirt kind of type vibe, and a tank to the
The
Taco Bell
event.
event,
Mm,
and I just didn't feel like myself. Like, I felt that I was giving off a very different persona than the woman I am.
mhm.
I would've felt more comfortable in,
I
like, a
hate that feeling.
typical beach out like, it just didn't feel like myself. I felt
Yeah,
like
worst
a
feeling.
tourist who's never been to the beach before.
Mhm,
And what makes it worse is I was stopping on the staircase down to take photos for
mhm.
a while. All of a sudden, I finally hear someone go, "Excuse me, sorry." It's like a really handsome lifeguard our age.
That hurts.
Yeah, it really, really hurt, and I wanted to say, I don't usually wear this, and I know how to swim,
Oh my
etcetera.
god.
Like, I didn't look like I knew how to swim the way I was dressed.
Yeah, wearing a jeans maxi skirt to the beach is definitely
Well,
a
you're not completely understanding it because it's like a Free People, like, flowy, cheered denim looking skirt.
Oh, okay. That's much better
It's
than I was
still pretty
picturing. I was
beachy.
imagining, like, rigid.
No,
Like
and I was wearing a rip curl tank.
oh, then you're totally Laguna vibe.
I just didn't feel like myself.
Yeah, okay.
And anyway, so then I get there and, like, I know you're not allowed to swim, so I'm just like but then I see people who are wet, and I'm like, "Where are they coming from?" Because
Yeah.
like, basically, there's, like, a beach section, and then, like, it goes all the way around, and you can't really see on the other side of the water if
Yeah, I
you're
was
on the
shocked when you told me there was another side.
yeah, there's a whole other side. Um, and so, anyway, then I, like, sit up and kind of peek, and turns out and then I hear the lifeguard, thank God this didn't happen to me, telling some people who tried to swim on this side, they can't swim over there. I watched him do it, like, 100 times yesterday. But anyway, then he tells well, he doesn't tell me, he tells them. I see him point over there, and then I lift my head up, and I see all these heads bobbing in the water, and honestly, when I first got in, I felt nervous in the ocean because there is such a strong current. I completely understand why you're not allowed to swim on the other side. Because
Yeah.
like, I've never been scared of a current, but, like, I really understand, like, the real power of a strong current now. Like, I understand how strong swimmers can still fear a current, and I consider myself a strong swimmer, one
Yeah.
with the ocean. So I was, like, not feeling super comfortable the first time I went in the water because it was also just me at the time, and, like, one other woman, and I didn't feel like I could really control my body, and I didn't know how far the current was gonna take me, so I
Oh
just
my
felt,
god.
like,
This reminds me of
cautious.
something.
What?
I'll circle back.
Okay. And then, like, it was kind of embarrassing because I wasn't flowing with the current,
Mhm.
so I kinda kept, like, getting slammed to the ground in front of the lifeguard, and I was
Yeah.
getting embarrassed about it, like, kinda, like, pushed back, like,
Yeah.
landing in the sand.
Yep.
And so I, like, kinda just soak off, I had to pee, so I peed, and then I go back to my towel feeling kind of embarrassed. Then later I look up and there's so many people in the water, and so I go in more confident.
Mhm.
And once I was one with the current, I had the best time ever because it's a strong current, but it only pulls you out to a certain point, and then it pushes you back all the way,
Oh,
and I
that's
kind of was
fun.
just floating with it.
Riding
Like,
it,
as long
yeah.
as you float, it's just and everyone was floating, but I will say, I almost posted an Instagram story about this, and then I was like, "That's kind of mean." But there was this one girl and her boyfriend who am I to shit on them because they were very much he was super sweet to her and very much in love with her.
Mhm.
That I could tell. That part was sweet, and to each their own, obviously. but if I ever went swimming with a man and he was making the commentary that this man was making, I would literally get up, leave, block their number, never speak to them
What
again.
did he say?
He kept being like, "Ah, I think something touched me."
Oh my god.
And then he was like, "Watch
No.
out, another wave's coming. I don't know if I'm gonna make this wave. Oh, I'm
Oh
really
my god,
nervous
I did
right
new
now."
greatest fear, new greatest ick unlocked.
Yeah, like, he was just being so nervous in the ocean, and it was like
Don't swim.
he was yes, he was being so vocal about it. I'm sorry, but
Oh my god.
if I went in the ocean with a man who was, like, squealing, saying, "I
No.
think something touched me," and then he was like, "I think something bit me," like, first of all, don't yell that in the ocean.
Yeah.
Second of all, go. Go
No,
sit
if
down on the
anything,
shore and
like,
let the
I should
water
feel
touch your
comfortable
toes.
jumping into my boyfriend's arms while swimming because I think something touched me. If
Yeah.
he's squealing, where's my sense of security?
No.
Seriously.
Yeah, his girlfriend was
Ew. Ew,
much
ew,
more
ew.
confident of a swimmer than he was. It was like and honestly, it was getting annoying too because he kept almost slamming into me because he couldn't ride with the current, and I was like, "I don't
Okay,
wanna
well,
touch
this
someone
is a
else's
story I wanted to
boyfriend."
tell. I was, like, extremely I don't know if I ever would say, like, turned on, but I was like, "Oh my god." This one guy swimming with his, like, brother and his dad, and he just looks so strong in
Oh,
his
I
muscles, he
thought you
looked
were
amazing.
saying you were turned on by the guy you kicked.
No, I'm getting to that. So anyway, I
Oh,
saw that guy, so I was, like, really keen to stay in because I was like, imagine I meet my husband while swimming in the ocean for hours when usually I'm the one that's like, "I wanna get out."
I've thought about that
Like,
before.
how
Well, not
amazing would
about
that
that,
be?
yeah, but
Because,
yeah.
like, he was just very cute. Anyway, um, but, yeah, so Britta and I were swimming, we were out at the sandbar. There were, like, some people. There was, like, that group that I was just discussing, which was 3 people, and then me and Britta, and then there were, like, a couple other people, like, far over, and then there was this one guy, solo guy. He was a teenager, I'd probably say late teen, wearing a swim shirt. Like, he was wearing a wetsuit just to swim. Like, he was
Ugh,
really all in,
that's
like,
an ick.
sweet as can be. No, but he was sweet as can be,
No, I
right?
get it. I couldn't date someone who had to wear a wetsuit
No,
to
but
go
he
in the
wasn't, like,
water.
dating age. He was probably, like, 15.
Okay, I know, I get it, I get what you're saying, I'm
Yeah.
just adding to the list of my own icks. I'm
Oh,
not
yeah.
talking
Total
about
ick
this
for me
guy.
too. Don't come near me in a
Unless
swimsuit.
he's in the way where never forget when Surfer Boy said he complimented me and Celia for being able
Yes.
to do our dips and said he could only do that in a wetsuit, but
That's different because he surfs. This guy was just, like, in there, like, this
yes.
was his yeah.
Oh,
Anyway, to each their
rest
own,
in
but
peace,
honestly,
Surfer Boy, and
it made it sweeter, though, because he was, like, so dedicated to swimming that he wore a
yeah, that is
wetsuit to
really
stay
sweet.
in. And he was just out there on his own trying to, like, have the best day. Like, it actually makes me wanna cry thinking about it. No, I'm gonna sound so mean. It actually was not intended to be mean whatsoever. I'm, like, getting emotional thinking about this. He was living his best life, and all of a sudden, he's ro like, all he's trying to do is catch a wave. He's body surfing. He, all of a sudden, is coming straight towards me. So, he's a bigger guy. I start to kick. I'm trying to get out of there. It's all happening so fast. All of a sudden, I feel I am kicking something. We have made contact. I am underwater still. Britta, my sister, surfaces. She hears someone go, "Ah!" I swim scurry off to my sister. I pop up and I'm like, "I think I just kicked someone." She is hysterically dying of laughter because she saw both sides of it. And I was like this, if you're watching, like, robo robo kicking him on accident because I was trying to get out of there so he didn't land on me. Anyway, I go over and like, "Oh my gosh, I think I just kicked you. I'm so sorry." He's like, "Oh, no, it's okay."
Oh, I
Like,
didn't
he
know
was
you apologized to him.
yes, because he was alone and he was so sweet.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, la-di-da, we're enjoying the waves. I look up, it's happening again. I was like, "You have got to be kidding me." I just freeze. I literally, like, just completely my body, like, "Don't move, don't move, don't move. You're not gonna kick him. I'd rather get pummeled than kick him." But then the worst part was, like, Britta could not stop laughing, and
Aw.
obviously he knew why, and I kept, like, being like, "Britta, stop." But, like, she when you can't stop laughing?
Yeah.
But he was
Yeah.
alone, just, like, living his best life. It
Oh,
actually, like, breaks my heart to even think about it.
poor guy.
No, it, like,
Yeah,
makes me sick.
if that happened to me, I would go home.
Yeah, no, that's why I was like, "Bro, let's go in." We did leave
No,
because
I mean, like, if I was him.
yeah, no, he stuck it out. He kept riding those
So,
waves,
like,
but,
good
like,
for him.
I know, and maybe I hope he just, like, didn't take it that deep, like, he's
He
just a
might
guy
have
riding the
not.
waves. I know,
Yeah.
but if it were me and, like, 2 young guys were, like, cracking up, I'd feel, like, so bad.
Maybe to make you feel better, maybe he was like, "Oh, this dumb bitch."
Yeah, I hope so. I honestly hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's painful. I, like, actually can't even think about it that much, to be honest, but
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm sure he's okay. He probably laughs about it now.
The time he got kicked in the ocean. Yeah.
I would
It
laugh
was just,
about it.
like, really shocking, the whole scenario. Like, I was just trying to get out of the situation, but I should have frozen once I made contact, but I was just yeah. You get
Yeah.
it.
I've never been kicked in the ocean.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not too pleasant.
I don't think.
Mhm.
I feel like I'd
Um,
remember it.
wait, but there was something I was gonna say about you swimming in Laguna.
You were
Now
gonna
I don't remember.
circle back, is what you said.
Yeah, I can't quite remember, but we can carry on.
Mm. But yeah, I mean, all in all, I had a good time in Laguna. I really had fun swimming. I
Yeah,
love the beach. If I don't have to talk to anyone, I have an awesome time. And I'm
yeah.
sure there's like I said, I know very nice people in Laguna. Oh, and I know the sweetest girl who works at this gelato place in downtown Laguna who's giving me free gelato, who's a bestie. So
Yes.
there are very sweet people in Laguna. It's just there's also people who aren't kind. I mean, I guess that's everywhere. It's just pretty apparent there.
Yeah, I'd have to agree.
Yeah, I'm having trouble wrapping up, but my throat's really itchy not to be obnoxious, so I have to bid adieu.
Yes, and I will
We've
bid
gotta
adieu
get
as
better at
well.
wrapping these. We need to, like
To you and yeah. Yeah.
I remember when I first started podcasting, my old management would say, like, "You have to sound really natural when you, like, say, 'Hi, bestie,'" but I've just given that up. We all know here I can't say it naturally. Celia refuses to say it,
Oh, you mean
so
to start it? Here, I'll try ending it. Ready?
okay, end it.
Okay. Um, yeah, so I guess we'll see you next week. Okay, it's really yeah, I gotta work on that. I will work
Yeah.
on it.
Alright, we'll see you next week. We love you. Have a great weekend.
Yes, have a fabulous weekend. I wonder what we'll get up to this weekend.
I
I'm,
was
like,
just gonna say,
first solo weekend.
I really hope I'll be seeing my crush this weekend.
Oh my god, how fun. I hope I'll be texting
We
a
haven't
crush.
even spoken about hanging out anytime, but I really would like to see him this weekend.
Anything is possible on the weekend.
I know.
Alright, on that note, have the best weekend ever. We love you,
Love
and we'll see you
you.
next week. Bye.